There are over 30 million Americans of Irish descent, many of which trace back to the famine, but some with deeper roots, like myself, tracing back to the Thompsons of County Down and the bogs of Londonderry in Ulster, Northern Ireland. I came to explore some of those roots here and see the places where they live, and maybe understand why they left this beautiful country behind. Today's Ireland is a far cry from its dire history, but the effects of the famine still weigh on the heart of the people.
1 million people left Ireland, 1 million people died in Ireland over a 5 to 6 year period of the famine.
Wow.
In fact, it's only at that 150th anniversary that people started to talk and discuss much more about the famine. Up until that, it had almost been too difficult a subject for people to really talk about and engage. So yeah, the winds were raw for a couple of generations after the famine.
The Ulster American Folk Park preserves this chapter of Irish history with an open-air museum that tells the story of Irish immigration to North America in the 1800s. Liam, this is a beautiful park and important for American history as well.
Hugely important for American history. Most of the Irish chose to go to America as opposed to going across to Britain.
And what are we looking at here?
This would have been the house that the poorest people in Ireland would have lived in coming up to the famine. This example is built in stone. Most examples would have been built with a sod wall. And once the people left, either due to death during the famine or emigration, the sod walls would just have melted away. We're lucky to have this one.
To keep these chapters of Irish history from melting away, the park has also brought some American artifacts. One with a surprising twist. What kind of cabin is this?
This is a log cabin from Cabell County, Virginia, now West Virginia, built around about 1800 and fairly typical of Appalachian house construction of the time.
This very well could have been one of my cousins. I'm from West Virginia originally.
You're from West Virginia?
Yeah.
Wow.
It is pretty fascinating to think about this house sitting in my home state of West Virginia, now sitting here in my ancestors' area. Just all these stories connecting and overlapping.
So many connections, so many connections.
The park also exhibits this full-scale replica of the Brig Union, a converted cargo ship that carried Irish immigrants across the Atlantic.
This was an appalling way to travel, though. It truly was. You're talking about cramped conditions, a ceiling lower than this, dark conditions, up to 200 passengers, only 50 of these beds, though. So you're sharing blankets, but also illnesses, infections, nasty little friends crawling over hair and skin. You're sharing one of these as well, a bucket. That's your toilet. You know, it's disgusting to imagine, but you'll be glad to have them because, of course, seasickness is going to affect virtually every single passenger. And you're going to be enduring this for, well, 6 weeks if you're lucky. But if the wind is stubborn, this could be your home for anything up to 16 weeks. This is a testament to what the conditions must have been like in Ireland to say, this is worth the risk. This is what you're going to get. I've actually been to Fells Point, Baltimore, the real one. So being here in this recreation, I mean, it makes the world feel a little smaller, you know? Do you feel the Irish kept a sense of their own culture, though? And what pieces of that culture can you see in Americans today?
They came to work, they came to make a life for themselves, and I think that's very much an American characteristic that, you know, it's a land of opportunity, but the opportunity isn't given to you. You have to take it, you have to seize it. You can see how you can mobilise their numbers to make a difference in elections, and they use that very wisely.
This video is inspired by our PBS series, Reconnecting Roots. Visit reconnectingroots.com to watch the full episodes or to check out our music and podcast. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe so we can keep making more. Thanks for watching.